Welcome to Proving the Market, and it's another episode of Chat Walk. Now, if you're new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and let's just get into the nitty-gritty of this video. No wasting time, let's see what's happening on the Forex market, and I'll be going through my watch list. Now, so the last time I did come on here, we did talk about EURUSD, GBPJPY, and a couple of other pairs on this watch list, and we're about having a setup on BTC. However, BTC went ahead to do something ridiculous. It did go in our direction as predicted, but it didn't give us the setup which we usually love to enter the market. You guys know that there's a particular way to enter the market which is going to be the best and most probabilistic type of entry, and I talk about it here all the time. You'll get to know about it before the end of this video, but before you can get such kind of entries, you should use a certain trading methodology to approach the market. If you don't do it this way, you're going to have or run into a lot of issues. So that's what I'm going to be sharing quickly on this and see the kind of trading opportunities we have at the moment. And I'll still come back to talk about BTC and the trading opportunity which we missed on BTC because the market just didn't give us our setup, and that's fine. So quickly, let's start with EURUSD. So EURUSD, what's happening now on EURUSD? I'll be starting on the monthly time frame. So when I did come here initially, the last time I came here, I told you guys that EURUSD is bullish. However, we've met a very strong resistance point, which is this resistance point right about here. So this is the resistance point we met, and we have begun to move to the downside. Simple. We'll go over to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, I came on here and talked about how to interpret candlestick patterns. Now, I told you guys that you see your dojis, inside bars, engulfing candles, haramis, morning stars, evening stars, all those things. They are legit, they are good, but how to apply them is what I am here teaching on this channel so that you can know the right way to approach these candlestick patterns, the chart patterns, and price action in general. So when I came here the last time, I talked about this pin bar. So I told you guys that although EURUSD is bullish, I'm having issues with this pin bar. You see this pin bar right about here. So this just signifies that there is a lot of selling pressure right about that resistance zone. So when I saw this, I knew that the next few weeks, because we're on the weekly chart, the next few weeks for EURUSD might likely be a movement to the downside. And that's just what has happened here. You see, when I told you guys that be careful of this pin bar, I'm not going to be wanting to take any more trades for EURUSD until we do break above this major resistance level. Did we break above it? No, because after this pin bar appeared, it was expected that the market is going to tank to the downside. And you can see that has done right about that. So what am I expecting for EURUSD so that you don't run into issues trading EURUSD? Because this pin bar has led to the movement, to this movement, right about so, because this pin bar has now led to this movement. And if you take a look at this chart clearly, so I'm just going to take this off now. If you take a look at this chart, you'll find out that EURUSD is trying to actually create a chart pattern for us. And you know that chart patterns are reversal patterns. So in this case, we are seeing something that looks like a double top. So this is the left top, which was the first reaction he made at that level, and then the pin bar and the rest of the candles is the right top. So this is a double top, with this being the neckline. So we take this off. So given that this is a double top that is about forming on this pair EURUSD, I'll be standing off my hands and be watching what EURUSD is about to do. First and foremost, the first clue for a bearish bias is this pin bar, which I spoke about the last time I came here. That was last week. Now, after the pin bar, we are seeing that a chart pattern is about forming a double top on EURUSD. Now, we have seen also that this bearish candle is shooting strongly to the downside, approaching the neckline. Now, all I need to see is once this neckline is taken off, so I'll just come over to the daily time frame so you can see it clearly. Now you can see that this neckline is still there. So once this neckline is taken off like so, and we get a setup for EURUSD, how I want to approach the market is, so we need to break this neckline like so, and then retest it, because I love the break and retest strategy. I talk about it all the time here, and I'll be able to take USD. Is then I'll be confident enough to enter USD to the downside. But that hasn't happened yet. But I've showed you what the high time frame is printing, and the high time frame prints the movements of the lower time frame. So you should learn it now that we're about seeing a chart, and this chart pattern is forming on the high time frame. First of all, the candlestick pattern, now a chart pattern. These are all clues the market is giving you as to its intended direction. Now, if this happens and the break and retest of that neckline happens, I'll be willing to take EURUSD to the downside, and my first take profit once it does happen will be here. So I'll take some profits here, and then the next of the profits will be to the downside. That's EURUSD in a nutshell. Let's go over to the next pair on our watch list. Now, GBPJPY. Now, GBPUSD is the same as EURUSD. However, I did point out that GBPUSD also met what seems to be a major level. It's actually a weekly level. I talked about it on my previous video, and it's this line, this black line here. So you see this black line has held strongly. Now I'll show you the implication of this black line. If we go straight to the monthly time frame, you can see that the market went up. The market went up like so and met this black line. Now, when it did meet the black line, what else happened? I talked about this and I'm going to say it again. You can see clearly that after the market met that black line, it formed a bearish engulfing candle right about that zone. So after this bearish engulfing candle formed at that zone, I said it clearly here that because of GBPUSD is having a lot of issues, the monthly time frame is saying we're going up. The weekly time frame is showing some signs of reversal, but not outright reversal. But in this case, it's giving us a clue that there is a bearish engulfing candle reacting off that weekly level, which is that black line right about there. I will be patient on my hands to see what GBPUSD wants to do. So in this case now, you can see now that this bearish engulfing candle has gave birth to the movement to the downside. If we just go quickly to the daily time frame, to the weekly time frame, you can see here that we had begun to cross to the downside. Now, not only has that happened, the last time I came here, I was not going to be interested in trading GBPUSD until you see my simulation right about here. I wanted GBPUSD to break above this minor resistance level, which is this orange color zone here. If we break above it and retest it, then I'll be confident to continue to trade GBPUSD to the upside. That didn't happen. Now, GBPUSD, paying attention to the higher time frame, the bearish engulfing candle that had formed on the higher time frame, if you see now the implication of that bearish engulfing candle, you can see clearly that we had a candle, a bullish candle that shot all the way back to that neckline, to the light line, and then reacted. So this sudden wick, you see this wick all the way down, it just signifies that there is a lot of selling pressure. Sellers are wanting to enter into this market. So in that case, GBPUSD might likely be behaving like EURUSD. And if that happens, I'll only be waiting to see what GBP wants to do. Currently now, I don't have any trade setups. I don't have any trading setups on GBPUSD either. I'm actually waiting for EURUSD to make up for that chart pattern. But for now, GBPUSD is not doing anything like that. And if I thought I'll be thinking of trading anything on GBPUSD, I'll wait for this line, this level right about here. I'll wait for this level to be taken off. Now, if this level is taken off and then I see convincing setups, I might jump on a GBPUSD trade, but I'll come back to review it once that happens. So let's go to the next pair on our watch list. The next pair we're talking about is gold. There's nothing actually to talk about gold because gold has just shot all the way up. Gold is currently trading at $4,000 per ounce. Guys, gold is just crazy. The market is too linear, and I don't like to approach linear markets. Whenever I see a market like this, it's so linear. It's not giving us chance to enter. We're not getting trading opportunities. And you know that we love the market to give us pullbacks. That is the characteristic approach to the market. That's the characteristic way the market behaves. If the market doesn't give us that kind of behavior, which it is known for, I'm not going to be interested in trading whatever currency pair that is showing us a linear pattern. And in this case, that's gold. So I'm not going to be touching gold for now. The next one is BTC. Now, BTC is this. BTC was actually trading somewhere around here. I told you that if BTC comes back above and breaks above this level, I will be looking to take more trades. However, we had a trend line coming to the downside. Now, did BTC give us a trading opportunity? It didn't, but however, you can see clearly that it broke above this trend line and broke above this zone now. Now, after breaking above this zone, this was our eventual target. So, whilst BTC was all the way down here, I had targeted that BTC will first of all come back to this level. Why? Because I'm just going to put it clearly here so you can see, because this level is the 100% retracement, and I told you guys that the 100% retracement usually is a critical zone. Whenever the market gets to that level and pulls back, the market will come back to that level. Now, if you get a trading opportunity before the market comes back to that level, you are good. But in this case, BTC didn't just give us the trading opportunity to enter. And then we have seen that BTC has come up all the way to hit the 100% retracement. Now, what happens from here? What happens from here for BTC is simple. I will still take this, put this right about here. So this is now going to signify the new 100% retracement. And I'll wait for BTC to actually break above this level. Now, if BTC doesn't break above this level, I'm not going to be trading BTC more to the upside. I told you guys that we are at liquidity levels, a lot of liquidity levels for Bitcoin. But you can see that price action is always true. whenever you see a characteristic pattern in the chart that shows that there is either a looming buying sentiment or a looming selling sentiment, as far as it's imprinted on the chart, most likely to play out that way. But if you are not able to read this, it will be difficult for you to know what the market wants to do. Now, in this case, now you can see that BTC actually paid attention to price action and has hit the 100% retracement. What's happened on the 100% retracement? You can see that we are rejecting to the downside. It's expected of BTC. Will I be looking to take more trade entries for BTC? Actually, yes, but it's only if it happens. I'll only be expecting BTC because this movement was too linear to the upside. There have not been any moments of retracement. I'm actually expecting BTC to give me a Fibonacci play. I've told you guys how to anticipate pullbacks. I made a video about how to anticipate pullbacks in the market, so you can know exactly where the pullback is going to be, the depth of the pullback. So in this case, I'm actually expecting BTC to pull back to a Fib area, which is right about here. But once this happens, it's not going to be my usual trading scenario. I will usually like to reduce my risk in this scenario because we are trading below the 100% retracement. Although, because of experience, I know that BTC is likely to come to this level, which is the 50% Fibonacci area, and react. And once it reacts and a trading opportunity presents itself, I'll most likely be eager to jump on that trade, but I will reduce my risk. Why? Because we're trading below the 100% retracement. Simple. So BTC now is reacting around that level, and that's what BTC is showing at the moment. Let's go over to the next currency pair, which is oil. Now, oil was about giving us a trading opportunity, and you can see it nicely. I was expecting a reaction at about here, and then if oil gave me a trading opportunity, you can see my counter trend had already been drawn. My counter trend had already been drawn, expecting oil to react around there, but you can see that it's currently playing around there. So I'll be keeping a keen eye on oil to see how oil reacts and eventually comes to attack our counter trend line. Then I'll update you guys later once there's a trading opportunity for oil. For now, my bias on oil is bearish, and that's why I want to take oil to the downside. Oil's expected propagation, I made it in my previous video, is still here. We have a bearish insight for oil from actually $62 per barrel to $55 per barrel, and if that happens, that's going to be bad for the economy. So that's just my intake. I'm a forex trader, so I trade what I see on the charts, and if that's what's going to give me money, I'm going to trade it. Now, next is GBPJPY. GBPJPY, we have been expecting GBPJPY to break out of this level for the longest. Watch my previous video, you will see that this particular yellow line has been very problematic for GBPJPY. Why? Because in the past, it was a supply region. That was a supply region in the past, and I wanted GBPJPY to break above this level and hold, as I said in my previous videos, and then I'll be ready to take more trades down to the upside. And you can see my simulation tool was here. So this is my simulation tool. I left it there, but GBPJPY has actually broken above this level. But the way and manner in which it did that, I don't like it. It didn't actually give me a trading opportunity to enter. It just jumped past the level. So whenever the market behaves like this and jumps past a level, I'm not really interested. All I will now be interested for GBPJPY is simple. Just give me a clear pullback. Just give me a clear pullback to the downside. Now, in this case, I'll be expecting the pullback to either be to a support level. So in this case, I'll be expecting the pullback to be to this yellow bar right about here, or to a Fibonacci area. So you can see now that the market is now rejecting. So the Fib area now I'm talking about is simple, from swing low to swing high. So around this area, if the market pulls back to this area and gives us a setup, I'll also be willing to jump on the trade. And that's my take on GBPJPY. If that setup happens, it's going to be a massive move to the upside, because I think we have over how many pips to our first? So we have over 800 plus pips to this yellow bar, and then to the next monthly zone actually is over 8,200 pips. So I'm actually very optimistic about a bullish move for GBPJPY. However, when our setup comes, I'll be here to update you guys on that. There's some talk about S&P 500. S&P 500 just moving to the upside. Now, GBP NZT trade, simple. I know this stuff. So remember the last time I came here, I told you the profits we took from here. So the profits is in my previous video. Go and check it out. And I told you guys that as we have approached this level, which is a level I love to mark, the 100% retracement, I just put a level right about there and tell myself, if the market wants to continue to move in that particular direction, just break the 100% retracement. Simple. Did the market do that? No. You can see now that it did not break this level. It broke above it and is now trading below it. So that was a false break. And not only that, you can see that there is a pin bar that's about forming here. So this is the daily time frame. This is a pin bar that is forming on this level. So that pin bar now signifies that most likely GBP NZD might have an issue continue to the upside. So I'll just wait until this pin bar is actually taking off. I'll be looking to take more trades for GBP NZD. So that's the case on GBP NZD, and there are no current trades to take on GBP NZD. USD CHF, I did point out that there is a chart pattern that is forming on the weekly time frame. In my previous video, I pointed out that there is this double bottom that is happening for USD CHF. Now, if USD CHF materializes to its full formation for this double bottom, I'll be willing to flip my bias for the meantime to bullish. Now, USD CHF has been bearish for a while now. Now, we are seeing that this chart pattern is forming here. If this chart pattern, which is a bullish reversal chart pattern, completes itself, don't be surprised you're going to see USD CHF back to the upside, and I'll be willing to jump on this trade once that happens. You can see that we have spotted it as savvy forex traders, and we've seen that the market is now pushing up. Actually, the market is pushing up to the neckline, and I'm just going to be waiting for this push up. I'm just going to be waiting for this push up to be complete, and then once we get a break and retest of that level for USD CHF, we'll jump in on that trade. That's how to trade forex, guys. There's nothing to talk about Euro USD or AUD rather. There's nothing to talk about AUD USD. The only thing I'll be waiting for AUD USD, that's only if it happens. Actually, I will come back and do a full analysis for you guys on AUD USD and why I'm actually expecting AUD USD might continue to move to the upside, just like you're seeing it. But I'm not going to be eager to jump on any trade for AUD USD until we break this level here. So whilst we are breaking this level here, this level also coincides with the overall trend line. Okay, actually this inner trend line. So if I'm going to want to flip my long-term bearish bias on AD to bullish, all I need actually is for this trend line to be taken off, and then at the same time let this level right about here be taken off as well. So that's my take on AD USD. I'll come back for more analysis on AD USD on that. NZD USD, I made a video here about NZD USD's movement. It's not yet fulfilled that, and that keeps me clear. That keeps me safe from sticking my money on assets or instruments that is going to incur me some losses. So I don't want that. All I want is if this triple bottom for NZD USD materializes, I will want to take more trades to the upside, and that can only happen if this level right about here is taking off. I showed that on the video I made about the intended movement for NZD USD. If that happens, I will take NZD USD to upside. So that's it, guys, on the real-time forex insights, and that's exactly what I've come to show you guys to keep you guys abreast on what is actually happening with my watch list and in the forex market. And like this, I do this every week, and we'll come back later to see the trading opportunities that we have. If there is any, I'll update you guys. And if you want to get more updates like this, even some updates on trading opportunities, I might be taking that. Normally, I might not come to show here. I will be doing that in my Telegram group. So kindly join the Telegram group, and the link is in the description. And I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, guys, in the market.